Friends, Ash here, welcome back to Gents. Hope that you're doing well. Oh, I'm melting! So you know how when a fragrance gets popular, it gets cloned? Yeah, you know how that happens? Well, one of the most popular fragrances to clone right now is one called Blonde Amber by Clive Christian. And Clive Christian is, believe it or not, friggin' expensive. For example, this fragrance right here at full retail is, that's the fragrance price for the 1% of the 1%, which is why that fragrance is currently so popular to dupe. And I have been letting a recent pickup mature to see how it do. This one right here, that really flew. This one right here, Montagne Amber Elixir. That stuff shot off. Wah! Basically, the bottles look like Le Labo Jr., but the fragrances are in fact dupes of many other things that are not Le Labo, like those. Let's go ahead and check out this presentation, guys, then I will let you know where this slots among all the other many alternatives to the Clive. First, Le Box. Honestly, not too much going on here. Pretty simple. Every single fragrance from the house actually looks the same way as far as the presentation, the bottle, all that goes. You have on the front the name of the house. You have a little sticker that has some of the notes. It's eau de parfum, 50 ml size. Bitter orange, pink pepper, rum, white tobacco, vanilla. A very simplified note breakdown there. And then on the bottom, it basically just says made in the US and has the website and says external use only, don't drink this. Opens up like so, and you have paper. And then the bottle will sit in with the paper. Very complex and intensely luxurious presentation experience. The bottle. Stock bottle, the little sticker on the front, has the name of the house, name of the fragrance, the size, the concentration, and a few of the notes. The cap, of course, is magnetic and out display, and it slides into place, it weighs nothing. Let us blast the fragrance. Let's go ahead and spray it on the old skin here as well. They're bad! No, I'm just playing. It's like skin starts bubbling off. All right, this one is priced at $45 for a 50 ml size bottle. That's pretty much what most all the Montagne fragrances are priced at. And in terms of price per ml, that's gonna put it obviously on the higher end since it is a 50 ml size bottle. For the most part, the Montagne fragrances usually make up for that for having really high quality and great staying power, but this one. Now, as I said, I have been letting it mature. But this one opens up powerful, borderline aggressive. Like it opens up with a punch, with a wallop. And for a split second there, you could almost think that it has oud as one of the notes in the fragrance, just the way that it opens up, because it has a big pop and it smells for just a split second there, almost animalic, but that quickly changes into more of a boozy opening. So if you're expecting this to open with a nice, like clean little sweet amber off the top, you'll be in for a surprise. There's a split second, like a flash of bitter orange there off the top. Not really grindy, but just like a little pop of that somewhat, bitter citrus opening, and it quickly melds into the rum. You have a little bit of a stewed fruit nuance to it. You know, that kind of feel of not like fresh, juicy, bright fruits, you know, not like zingy and all of that stuff, but like taking the fruit itself and just reducing it down to where it's just bubbling in its own sugars, like that kind of fruitiness. That's what you're gonna get. The tobacco note doesn't really come across smoky or ashy, so you're not gonna get that kind of, more abrasive tobacco note. Instead, it's more sticky, like a sticky tobacco, and it melds together again with that rum, kind of everything centering around that booziness off the top. You do have a little bit of a fizzy spiciness that does help give the fragrance some lift when you first spray it on, so that it's not just like heavy with more heavy with more heavy, because at that point it would probably be headache inducing. So that gives a nice balance. And even though it opens really aggressive, within about 5 minutes, it starts to smooth out. So everything gets more approachable. You get a lightly powdered, sort of vanilla amber vibe that starts to come across, and it becomes dramatically more approachable, like legitimately dramatically. I know that sounds like the corniest stuff ever, but the difference is very large within that 5 minutes. It still smells rich, it still smells deep, it still has that boozy facet, that rum, that sort of almost like whiskey-esque kind of feel. You know, it's like a mix of whiskey and rum, but it's rich and more composed at that point. It does not smell at all like this fragrance. I'm just kind of giving an example of how the opening can change so quickly. But if you've ever smelled Mancera's red tobacco, like when you first spray red tobacco on, it is bold. Like it is taking no prisoners. And then as it starts to dry down, you're like, oh my God, it's not even like the same thing, because you get all the notes starting to work together. And like I said, it smooths out. This is similar. The opening is bold. It's unapologetic. It's in your face. And it's not gonna be a safe blind buy for a lot of people off the rip. Like if you just grab this and spray it and be like, here, a lot of people are gonna go, ooh, oh. But 5 minutes later, it is stunning. Off the tester strip, to me, smells fantastic. Off skin, just as good. But be aware, that opening, especially if you haven't let it mature, woof. Legitimately, the first time I smelled it, like I said, I thought, man, this has like an oud note in here that is not listed, but it is there for like 3 or 4 minutes. So that's the opening, and it is the type of opening where the first time you smell it, you may be a little bit taken aback, and then you smell it again, and it starts to grow on you. But the mid is where this turns into just a straight up stunner. That fruitiness, it becomes more of like a dried fruit. So like dried fruits sitting alongside pipe tobacco. It has a nice little bit of creaminess to it. It's sweet, it's super appealing. And that amber that it's named for, Amber Elixir. You get a rich ambery undercurrent at that point that you can pick up more clearly compared to the opening. It has at times a distinctly plum-like sweetness, the way that the fruits come across, at least to me. A little bit dried fruits that had been soaked in rum. I guess that's the way that it comes across there. It commands attention at this point without being obnoxious, which when you first spray it on, you would think that's not possible. But once you hit the mid, it is. The vanilla alongside that amber in the mid has nice depth to it. It's not overly sugary. It's not like a heavy syruped, cloying kind of sweetness. It smells unique. It smells high class, like the Clive Christian. It's just more approachable for normal people through the mid. And then we hit the dry down. And into that dry down, that boozy, plum, tobacco kind of accord, it lingers for a while, especially in the air. As you're moving around, you'll catch whiffs of it. It has a woodiness that kind of frames the fragrance in once you hit that dry down also. And that vanilla amber sweetness, it kind of like pulses off your skin. So there are times you'll catch a big waft, a big whiff of it as you're moving around. Then other times you'll be like, I feel like it's not here. Feels like it's not here anymore. And then 20 minutes go by, 30 minutes go by, and whew, catch another big whiff of it. Definitely comes across in the dry down more buttoned up, a little bit more luxurious, not really youthful. But I will say that the quality here is fantastic compared to most of the other blonde amber alternatives out there that I've smelled anyway. Now in terms of performance, for me, this stuff is strong, which you can kind of tell by looking at the coloration there, this deep pea yellow.
That's a good pea. That's a strong pea right there. Hey, that's a good color pea. You don't want the clear. Yeah, clear. That's not strong. That's good. Yeah.
But yeah, it's strong, it's long lasting. It is, like I said, off the top, really kind of in your face. If you're catching big whiffs of it, you run the risk maybe of going nose blind for a little bit. And in the dry down as well, like I said, it'll kind of trick you. There will be times where you're like, it's not really there anymore. And then whew, there it is. And then it plays a hiding seek. A hide and seek. Brain work. A hide and seek on you. So it's sneaky diffusion. That's what it's got. Seasonality, fall and winter, evening, all day or night, technically. Spring and summer, no, especially summer. Like that's straight up psychopath behavior. Don't do that. If you do, you should have your bottles confiscated and taken away from you. So yeah, more of a date night fragrance, a little bit more of like a dressed up kind of vibe, you know, a little more of a formal sort of vibe to it. But really, I guess anytime that you want to try to grab attention with a bold, loud fragrance when it's cold outside. So overall verdict, as a cologne, it is fantastic. Obviously, way more affordable at retail than the Clive Christian. That one's over $600. I do own some Clive Christians, but man, every time I pull the trigger on one, I'm just like, painful. It's painful to an extent. So obviously this is less than 10% the cost of that if you're considering full retail pricing, but still yet at 45 bucks for 50 mils. Again, it is at the higher end of price per ml for clones. So the value gap between the Clive Christian and this is insane, but then also this is still more expensive than some of the other ones. So, you know, it's not exactly apples to apples, or is it? Now I have slowly accumulated probably 2.5 dozen Montagne fragrances over the past few years. I was like eyeballing them, they're over there. As far as the overall quality goes, this one is right up toward the top. This is like S or A tier Montagne quality. It absolutely rips. Like I said, it performs, it projects, it smells luxurious, it smells bold, it smells expensive, but it is not a safe, everyday type of wear for a lot of people. To be fair, neither really is the Clive Christian, but yeah. You get past that initial wave, that initial blast, and past that you have a rich, honey, boozy tobacco scent profile with vanilla, amber, spices, and woods. So the overall pros and cons. First, pros. Smells expensive and high class. It's a buttoned up, rich amber through and through. The next pro, the mid and dry down, fantastic for me. Rum, plum, dried fruits, pipe tobacco, and amber. Smells good, smells real good. The next pro, strong longevity with sneaky powerful diffusion. And finally, huge value versus the original and one of Montaigne's best. Now the cons, the opening. It can be polarizing for sure. Briefly animalic, almost an oody touch. Very bold, not gonna be for everybody. And the second con, which is not like really a huge con, but still, it's not really the type of fragrance that a lot of people are gonna wanna wear just casually. It's a heavy evening, cold weather, bold scent profile. So it's not gonna be the type of fragrance that somebody's gonna grab and be like, I'm gonna wear this all day to work and to the grocery store and to the gym. Like, that's not what this is. So if you get this, you need to know going in that it's a more specific type of scent profile. And if that works for you, it's gonna be absolutely killer. But if you go into this expecting it to be like a really easy breezy amber fragrance that you can just grab, spray, and go without thinking about, you'll probably be disappointed. For me though, Montagne Amber Elixir, this is the king of the fragrances that I recently picked up from Montagne. So there it is, again, linked in the description. I've got no codes or anything for you, sorry. There's a huge group of people online who are way into this house. So it's like a clone cult classic kind of vibe, like this brand. And it makes sense when you smell a few of them because even though it looks very basic, a lot of the stuff they put out is absolutely killer. So as I said, I have a bunch of these. I'm gonna give away a couple of the ones that I got a while back. These are very simple to know what they are. So this one's called Percival. This one's called Lovers. So you can probably figure out what the deal is, right? These ones I got, I feel like a year or two ago. Maybe this one like a couple years ago and this one like a year ago. And look at that pea color. Do you see what I'm talking about? That's a good pea color. I just figured some of you out there could get some good use out of these. So if you want to be entered in the giveaway for these two right here, I don't have the box for them anymore, so I'll just like bubble wrap them up and everything. Like the video, be subscribed to the channel, leave a comment below. Just say you'd like to be entered in the giveaway for this one. That's good enough. I'll pick a winner with random comment picker, post up on the post tab of the YouTube channel, and if you're the winner, hit me up and I will ship those out to you wherever you are in the world. All right, thank you guys for hanging with me. Stay safe out there. I'll see you tomorrow with another fragrance video. See you guys.